and he fills
Where's
the
he
room
at?
literally
And we had got Jeff Wall.
figuratively. Yes, we did. And you know how we do it, Jeff. We just jump right into a song, and you are here to leap right into one, aren't
Leap. Jump!
you? Jump high.
Fat boy, jump! The weatherman says there's a storm a-coming, there's a storm a-coming, there's a storm a-coming. Better take care and you better take warning. There's a storm a-coming, there's a storm. Run to the store, get some milk and bread. There's a storm a-coming, there's a storm a-coming. Never flashlight in the house is dead. There's a storm a-coming, there's a storm. Starting to rain like cats and dogs. There's a storm a-coming, there's a storm a-coming. Raining so hard it can choke a frog. There's a storm a-coming, there's a storm. The tops of the trees are spinning round and round. There's a storm a-coming, there's a storm a-coming. Big black funnels reaching down to the ground. There's a storm a-coming, there's a storm. Neighbor's chicken coop just was by my door. There's a storm a-coming, there's a storm a-coming. Neighbor ain't got a roof no more. There's a storm a-coming, there's a storm. I'm gonna dig me a hole about 12 feet deep. There's a storm a-coming, there's a storm a-coming. Next one that comes, well, it won't get me. There's a storm a-coming, there's a storm. Well, the man says there's a storm a-coming, there's a storm a-coming, there's a storm a-coming. If I was you, well, I'd take off running. There's a storm a-coming, there's a storm. There's a storm a-coming, there's a storm. There's a storm a-coming, there's a storm.
Jeff Wall, the big dumb Hick, live here on WHUP's Pass the Hat.
There is not a storm coming, by the way. I checked the radar, and we are safe.
It might be a figurative
but
storm.
Hurricane season's starting soon.
It is. Be aware, everyone. Jeff, we have not seen you in a minute.
I've been hiding.
The
The Witless Protection Program.
Yeah. Well, tell us, since you were last here, what's been going on with you? Because here's what I know. We haven't seen you on the gig radar as much as we would like. And so what's been going on? Have you been writing? It sounds like you have. What's up?
I don't know what's up. I don't remember the last time I was here. So, I don't know if I can't remember what I told y'all about. Let's see what's happened. I had a stroke in 2018. That was fun. And then in November of 2023, I was told not to make any plans for a while because they wanted to cut my chest open and do a quadruple bypass. So they did that, and I had to cancel every gig I had.
Yeah.
I had a bunch of stuff booked out. A lot of places book out a year in advance.
Yes,
Yep.
they do.
And which I hate. And so all these places I've been playing before, I couldn't get into because everybody's booked up. It's almost like I'm starting over again.
Yeah, you kind of fall off the regular rotation that way.
Yeah, and fall off the radar. As big as I am, I fell off the radar. But what I'm doing right now, I'm playing a few gigs here and there. I'm playing as much as I can anywhere I can.
Okay.
So if you're within, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and you got some money in your pocket you want to get rid of, call me. Or email me. Come to my website, bigdumbhick.com, and you'll be able to find me. Don't misspell that, though.
So,
That's Big Dumb Hick with an H. And
You can
all
find
my
yourself.
contact information is there. Some people think it's Big Dumb Prick. or
Jeff
something. I
also
don't know.
mentioned this in his tagline, and I'm just going to let you all interpret this as you see fit. He said something about clothed or unclothed, and I'm just going to let you all work that out with Jeff. You know, what would be a Chippendale situation?
Well, no, during the pandemic, there were no gigs to be had. And so I'm looking anywhere I can. And for some reason, a nudist resort popped up in my Google search.
It's because you went searching for
I
it,
have
Jeff.
no idea
How,
what
how
that
did the
was.
algorithms figure that out?
Nudist resort, enter. That's
And
how.
people say there is no God, you know. But so there was this nudist resort down in South Carolina, and I figured, you know, I sent a little query letter off to 3 different nudist resorts within, you know, a couple hundred miles of the house. Mm-hmm. That one answered back the next day, and they said, "Yeah, we want you to come, and we'll pay your asking price." And I'm like, I wasn't expecting this. and I'm like, well, that's kind of far. And they said, and we'll put you up in a cabin.
All right.
And I told my wife, I said, honey, I got this gig in South Carolina. She said, isn't that kind of far to go for a gig? I said, well, I don't have to drive back that night. They're going to put me up in a cabin. She said, oh, I'm in. I said, wait a minute, there's something you need to know. She said, no, there's not. You said there's a cabin. I'm in. I'm like, honey, this is at a clothing optional resort. And she said, okay,
All right.
I'm in. I'm optional.
Exercising her options. I appreciate
So
her.
just how resorty is the naturist resort?
Well, the average age is AARP,
Hey, I'm in.
you know, so there's that. We went
hot.
probably once a month for a year, and the reason why my wife liked it, she didn't like the naked part. She's not into that. But nobody gets in there without a background check.
So it's
Literally, or like turn
No,
around?
I'm serious.
or-
No, they run a background check, you know, and they mentioned something about me not being able to drive 55. So they checked me out pretty closely. And it's gated. You're not getting in. And they don't put up with any
misbehavior and you're out.
No, yeah, there is no misbehavior. Any inappropriate behavior, you're gone. And you're gone quick. There ain't no refunds. You're gone. And so she liked it. Those are the things that she liked about it.
Okay.
Me,
Reasonable.
I just like being naked, you know.
Yeah, we knew that about you.
Yeah.
I think you should play us a song, Jeff.
I don't, well, I'm not going to play any naked songs right now. This is a song I wrote with my buddy John Weisberger. John's a big bluegrass guy. Used to be the president of the IBMA. Now he's got something to do with a bunch of record labels. He's got a co-write on that Billy Strings California Sober record.
how
I
about
noticed
that?
that the other day.
Yeah.
So he's a chart-topping songwriter. I'm not. But I drove out to Brevard last year, and we sat down and we wrote a song.
So you're chart topping adjacent.
Yeah, whatever you call it. Like a ship lost at sea that ain't got a rudder. I'm a slave to the winds and the tide. I don't know where I am, care where I'm headed. I'm just along for the ride. It's been many a year since the first time I heard it and answered the call of the sea. Now I'm all alone, riding the currents, a feather adrift on the breeze. Like a ship lost at sea that ain't got a rudder. I'm a slave to the winds and the tide. I don't know where I am, where I'm headed. I'm just along for the ride. Someday I'd like to have a wife and a family, tend to my own patch of ground, home on the hill, yard full of children, if I could just settle down. But like a ship lost at sea that ain't got a rudder, I'm slave to the winds and the tide. I don't know where I am, care where I'm headed, I'm just along for the ride. I don't know where I am, care where I'm headed, I'm just along for the ride. Yeah, needs a penny whistle, but yeah.
Most things do.
Well-
That or a trumpet.
Yeah, or a tuba, you know,
Get
whatever.
out.
I'm in the process of recording a new record
Really?
So you
with
threatened.
Mr. Doug Davis in Winston-Salem,
Oh, that'll be a good one.
and I don't know if y'all know Doug. Doug looks like he ought to be in a. I think he needs to be in a Faces tribute band because to me he looks
Looks like Rod Stewart?
old, young Rod.
Young Rod Stewart. Okay.
But some people say he looks like Davy Jones. I don't know. He looks like a munchkin to me.
So
but,
he's a little guy.
Yeah, but he's a very talented guy. We've known each other for a long time. We've been circling around each other. And basically, you know, he told me we ran into each other somewhere at a show or something. He said, look, man, he says, I don't think anybody has ever captured you, what you are, what you do, you know. Nothing you've ever recorded is anything like what you're like when you're playing live. You know, it's just not the same.
That's a tough thing to get that lightning in a bottle onto a CD or onto Spotify. That's tough.
Right, and I'm a little nuts anyway. So he said, I want to. He said, I'd like to do something, and we've been talking about it for a while. So one night I called him up, and we went. You know, I said, let me buy you dinner, and let's talk for a while. And so he came out, and Elisa, my wife, and I, we went out and we had dinner with him. And I gave him a list of songs. You know, hey, I want to make a record, and these are the songs I want to put on it. And I sent him a link to demos of all those songs. Mm-hmm. He said, this is great. He said, but what I want to do is I want to sit down and I want to listen to everything you've written.
Well, that could take a while.
That did take a while. I've got about 100 songs on Spotify or so. Mm-hmm. And the poor guy sat and listened to every one of them. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. You know, it's like, I get sick of hearing them myself, and I wrote them.
That's creative commitment, though. He was playing in the sand, and he was listening for opportunities.
He knew there was something good there.
Yeah.
So he listened to everything, and there's some of the songs that we're doing that I've cut before.
Right.
You know, we're in the middle of doing tracking for Love Everybody, you know, my hit.
A great song.
And but I wanted to add some harmony vocals to it. You know, one of the things it was, I was trying to describe to him what I wanted, and I was having a hard time with it. And then I had a brilliant idea, and I sent him a bunch of Staples singer tracks. Right. I'm like, this is it. You know, everything we've done so far has been way too white because
because you're white.
Yeah. Very white. You know, I had a 23andMe done, and they said there's no rhythm there at all. You know,
can't find it,
which surprised me. But so I sent him that. About 20 minutes later, he sent me a demo where he had added what I asked for, mm-hmm. and he just kept doubling it. So there's like 40 Dougs singing harmony on this track, and but he nailed it. he nailed it. And I'm like going, yeah, that's what I want. So Tuesday, we got a bunch of people coming over to his studio.
This coming Tuesday.
This coming Tuesday at 8 o'clock. And we're going to, they all get to be staple singers.
All right.
And I get to sit there and be Pops and just, which is what I've always wanted to be anyway, sit there and be Pops and just,
Do you know yet who any of those singers are, or are you going to meet them?
No. They're all friends. They're all people in the Winston Greensboro area who volunteered to help me with this record. I put a call out and I said, "Look, I'm making a record. If you're interested in helping at all, if you want to be a part of it, send me a note. Let me know what you play and what you can do, what you want to do, what you're willing to do." And I've had people coming out of the woodwork, which is kind of amazing to me because I didn't realize I had that many friends.
Well, it's not amazing to me because I know you got a lot of friends, but more because I know what a wonderful collaborative environment the Triad and Triangle music scene is.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of competition of, oh, Jeff's making an album, let's try to screw it up, or let's everybody run away from it and make him work in a vacuum. No, everybody wants to collaborate with everybody else and help them be awesome. It's really kind of wonderful.
There is some competition, especially among songwriters, but it's friendly competition. We're all trying to help each other get better. And I'm trying to write a song that will knock your socks off.
Right.
That's my whole goal.
I'm barefoot, dude.
I want to write something that's going to blow your mind, and it's sometimes I'm able to do that, and sometimes I'm not. But it's a great thing. The Song Circles, the one at Doodad Farm and the one Jack Grum does at Centennial Station in High Point. Both those meet once a month. The Odin Brewing open mic on Sundays.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's pretty much a songwriter thing, but people of all skill levels are welcome.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll have people there that are professional players that play out a lot, and then you'll have people that have never been on stage before. And everybody's treated with the same respect, which is important to me. I want.
And weren't you a part of the 3 a.m. Songwriters Club, something like that?
I did that one thing, and that's another thing that Doug Davis runs, and I'd been invited to participate in that a bunch, and I did it one time. And I don't write songs like most people do. I have a hard time writing to prompts. I have a hard time writing to a deadline.
Right.
Either I get an idea that pops in my head. Sometimes it's a good idea. Sometimes it's not a good idea. I'll usually run with it either way. And
well, have you got one of them good ideas or not so good ideas you can play for us now?
Well, yeah, this is kind of I'm tuned down a full step. And and if you got it with just one little string out, you can really tell it. Until you try to tune it, then you can't tell it. And then I got these big old gorilla hands, and I bend strings out of tune. So. I was drunk in a tavern, Richmond, VA. I'd been out on the water, fishing all day. Saw a girl in the bar, she looked so divine, and I knew right away I had to make her mine. So I bought her a drink, then I bought her some more. Soon arm in arm, we staggered out through the door. We ended up in my place and drank a box full of wine. I woke up naked, we must have had us a time. And if I had a genie who'd grant every wish, I'd like to drink and I like to fish. Give me a girl and a boat and a cooler of beer. Put me out on the water, watch my cares disappear. I met her out on the river, she kept a boat. That bikini she was wearing made my britches grow. When she saw my erection, well, she got one too. But then the fish started biting, what was I supposed to do? We drank all the beer, and we caught all the fish, except for that pecker, she's a sweet little dish. She got me trying some things I never tried before. I don't know if I like it, but I'm gonna try some more. And if I had a genie who'd grant every wish, I like to drink and I like to fish. Give me a girl and a boat and a cooler of beer. Put me out on the water, watch my cares disappear. Some folks tell me I'm straight, and others tell me I'm queer. I got a girl with big titties and a cold case of beer. We like to fish, we like to drink, we're happy together, so who cares what they think? You can wish on a candle, you can wish on a star. Sometimes wishes come true, ways that you never thought. Be careful what you wish for, cause you might find you get what you wanted, and it blows your mind. And if I had a genie who'd grant every wish, I like to drink and I like to fish. Give me a girl and a boat and a cooler of beer. Put me out on the water, watch my cares disappear. I like to fish, and I like to drink.
Jeff does birthday parties, bat mitzvahs.
Yeah, children's parties,
Call now.
I write transgender fishing songs, I write profane gospel songs.
So are you more of top water excitement kind of fishing, or jigs and lures down on the bottoms?
I haven't fished in forever. I used to love to fish, and my thing was catfishing because I just like to I just like to throw it out there
and just sit and
listen
wait.
to the AM radio, cigar, and I'm staring at the stars. Mm-hmm. And if a fish wants to bite, great. And if a fish doesn't want to bite, that's fine.
You've
too.
had a good time.
And I usually take all the barbs off my hooks.
Makes it easier to let the fish go.
Yeah, because I used to love to eat fish when I was a kid. I spent a lot of time on the lake fishing, and now I just 20 years in the Navy. I don't want to eat anything that comes out of the water.
Yeah, no, because you know what's going into that water.
I've seen way too much. I've seen way too much stuff. Oh my God! No, that ain't. No, I don't want to do that.
Hey Jeff, what has the past, I guess, year and a half? You've written, so we're hearing some new stuff. Did it do anything to your writing or to your creative process? Did it spark something?
No.
Okay,
All those drugs.
Next question.
The thing is I've been trying to keep my eyes open, trying to keep my ears open. I've been trying to challenge myself and challenge my beliefs in different ways. Mm-hmm. We had somebody at work. We all got an email. It said, come Monday, Brad will be presenting as Mia.
All right.
I grew up in a little farm town in Middle Tennessee. I didn't even know anybody gay until I went in the Navy.
Yep.
And I damn sure didn't know anybody who was trans. And so I always thought Brad was kind of a pain in the ass. But as soon as we got this email, I sent him. He was a him at the time I sent the email.
Yeah.
So if I get the gender confused, please forgive me. Brad and I have talked about this. Me and I have talked about this as well. I said, look, dude, this is weird to me. I don't understand it. But I want you to know I'm on your side. If you need somebody to talk to, if you're freaking out, if you just need something safe, somebody safe, I'm here for you.
That's the right answer.
And he emailed me back. He said, "It's weird to me too."
I reckon it was.
And the thing was, I invited him and his wife to come to a show, and they did, which kind of surprised me. And he showed up as Mia. This is the transition period, and if you didn't know Mia beforehand, you would not know that Mia was trans.
Right.
I'm like, dude, you make a damn little, and dude is gender neutral, there's an F word that I call everybody that, that's also gender neutral that I won't say on the radio. But, and so anyway, this had caused me to examine how I felt about trans people. Now, my daughter went to high school. She went to nerd school, with the academically gifted high school. I call it nerd school. Yeah. And she had a bunch of trans friends. And we were talking one day, and I said, look, when I went to school, there were no gay people, except in California or New York. There damn sure wasn't any in Tennessee, except for my brother. And he knew everybody who was gay. He'd tell us stories. But, I wasn't exposed to any of this. And anything you're not exposed to is it's kind of fearful.
It's new and weird and different.
Yeah. For me, it was fearful, because I didn't know, because I was sure all these gay people wanted to have sex with me. And why wouldn't they?
Right?
I was hot. I used to be hot. It was a long time ago.
I've seen pictures. He's not lying, y'all.
It was a long time ago.
They were black and white photos.
And the way I dealt with my homophobia, because I was very homophobic in my early 20s, was I just jumped in the middle of the gay lesbian community, and just started becoming friends and doing things with a bunch of.
Well, that is absolutely the right answer. Is expose yourself to it and find out.
Well, I didn't actually expose myself.
That might have been the wrong words to choose.
I might have turned a lot of people. I might have caused a lot of people to
a lot of confusion.
Their own sexuality once they see me, like going, I don't know But anyway, so I did the same thing with trans people. I shouted out on Facebook, "Hey, is there any of my friends here trans? Because I don't know." And I had a bunch of people that
not
say,
surprising.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, this is wild. And then there's a place I play. I don't want to out her. There's a place I play in Winston, and I asked my favorite bartender there. I said, "Hey, Morgan, should I talk to these people over here about playing here?" She said, "You wouldn't like it. It's a Christian bar." And I'm like, now I was raised Baptist, Baptist Church of Christ, and the difference between a Baptist and a Catholic is a Catholic will remember your name in the liquor store, but a Baptist doesn't know you.
Exactly.
But and she told me, she said, "You wouldn't like it." She said, "They won't look me or this other person in the eye because we're trans." And I'm like, "What?
You're what?"
Yeah, I had no idea. I just thought she was some freaky goth chick, in the vampires and stuff. And so I'm like, okay. Now the thing there, the pronoun with her hasn't been an issue, because I've always known her as Morgan, the chick. I didn't know her.
How they present to you.
However, I didn't know her dead persona or whatever.
Dead naming, dead gendering.
Yeah, I'm a hillbilly. I'm. If you look up cracker in the dictionary, my picture's there. You know.
Hey, Jeff, I'm going to stop you for just a sec, because when you said cracker, it reminded me of our sponsors. I'm first of all going to give our station ID, because it's that time. You have reached the top of the hour, and you are listening to WHUP Pass the Hat, WHUP LP Hillsboro. It is the top of the hour, and last hour, crackers are our sponsor. And now we have a cracker. No, I'm kidding. We have Jeff, who is going to show us, he's going to spokesmodel the chocolate. So
That's
I
right.
have that box, which is for your wife. Please don't open it in my
I'm
presence.
not. I'm not
'cause I'll
allowed
die.
to touch this. This is for her.
So we are fortunate enough to have a second hour sponsor for Pass the Hat, and support for this second hour is sweetly provided by Matthews Chocolates, 104 North Churton Street, Hillsboro, North Carolina, the finest in chocolate and chocolate accessories for all of your chocolate needs. And let's face it, we all have chocolate needs. Every guest on Pass the Hat gets a gift of chocolate from Matthews. Usually we don't know what's in the box, but we know what's in this one. And you can't open it in the studio unless you brought an EpiPen for Kim Lane because she is allergic to citrus.
Oh, it sucks to be you.
I'm okay.
You know,
Sorry, Kim, you won't be here next week.
I've only met Matthew one time, and he made a hell of an impression. He's a really super guy.
Matthew is he's a great guy, good sense of humor, fantastic nose and palate for creating chocolate amazingness. So stop by there. He's got the best coffee in Hillsboro. He's got gelato that is amazing, sherbet sorbet that is amazing, and all of the chocolate stuff is amazing.
And he's a great conversationalist.
Yes, he is. But Jeff, you are a great singer-songwriter, whether you think
Well,
so
thank
or
you.
not.
You know,
we think so.
I just when if you look at my Facebook, there's pictures of me in a dress, and I look good. Actually, no, I don't. I look like your grandmother. You know, facial hair and everything. But
it was nice and breezy, and it felt comfortable, right?
Some friends of mine are in a band called the Drive-By Truckers.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
you know
every year they do a homecoming at Athens, Georgia. And not this past year, but the year before, there was a big thing about everybody was all up in arms about drag reading hours.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
the
yeah.
drag performers that were going to bookstores and reading to kids.
Oh, my goodness. We can't have that happening.
You can't have a drag performer reading Dr. Seuss. You know, kids like to dress up and play it, and they just look at these people as like, they're dressed up and playing. This is fun. This is cool. Let's do this.
Absolutely.
And so, and you know, and they were making laws saying that you couldn't, you know, that you could do this. And so, that community, we decided to all show up in drag.
Awesome.
So we all just showed up to the show in dresses, and the band did too. The band played. You know, there's a bunch of photos of it on the internet, and
Y'all just look up
Cooley's got
drive-by
some
truckers
nice-looking
and drag.
legs. But you know, it's and so that sparked the whole. It made me angry when. It makes me angry when people start putting down gay people or trans people, and when they want to say this is a sin and these people are going to hell. You don't get to decide that. You know,
Amen.
You don't get to decide. You don't get to decide that.
Yeah, your job is to be a good human while you're on this
Well,
earth.
you know, and
Don't
these
judge
are,
other folks.
And these are people, and they deserve your love and respect. They may be weird people, you know, like Kim, but it's or me,
We still love her.
or the rest of them.
Well, based on our socials, they do not think you're weird, and they want to hear another song.
Well, I wrote a song. I had we are dogless in my house right now.
Oh,
Now, we had a couple Jack Russell terrorists, and we had to put the last one down a few years ago, and we haven't been able to get another dog, because when you have the best dog in the world has ever lived, how do you replace that?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, and so I wrote this song from my dog's point of view. Oh, maybe I should turn that off.
hey Jeff, turn your damn phone off.
Sorry about that. I don't know how to turn this off.
Just throw it over here. We got a garbage
Someone to
disposal.
check on your
There you
car
go.
warranty.
No, it wasn't my wife, so it's all right. That's the only one I worry about. She's got her own ringtone. So I wrote this song from my dog's point of view. I want to love you like a dog, unconditionally. Want to be your bestest friend. You can count on me. I want to be your dog. I wonder if Dylan ever has this problem.
He does these days.
Do what now?
I said he does these days.
I'm gonna start over. Because I'm a professional. I want to love you like a dog, unconditionally. I want to be your bestest friend. You can count on me. I want to be your dog, your little snuggle hound. I want to lay beside you when you sleep so I can keep you safe and sound. I want to be your dog, your little furry mutt. And I can't wait to kiss your face after I have licked my butt. I want to be your dog. I want to be your dog. I want to be your dog. Be your dog, my head in your lap. Wanna be the first thing that you see when you wake up from a nap. I wanna be your dog, and you can talk to me. You can tell me all your problems, a little canine therapy. I wanna be your dog, 'cause it's a mean old world. You're gonna need me to protect you from those psychopathic squirrels. I wanna be your dog. I wanna be your dog. I wanna be your dog. Like a dog, not a stupid cat. I won't try to kill you when you pet me. You know a dog don't act like that. I want to be your dog and always by your side. We can go for walks together and maybe sometimes for a ride. I want to be your dog till the very end. And 100 years from now, you'll remember your bestest friend. I want to be your dog. I want to be your dog. I want to be your dog. I want to be your dog.
Jeff Wall live here on Pass the Hat.
Now,
you can learn more at bigdumbhick.com. And Jeff, Gabriella LaFoley sends her, not condolences, she says she's sorry she can't be listening tonight because she is probably over our heads right now, flying between Shrewsbury and Texas. But we are still international because we have Bern on the live stream from over on the other side of the pond. And we've got Timberlake in the house in Juanita Burnett. And we are in the middle of our fund-a-thon here on WHUP, where we would love for our listeners to visit WHUPFM.org. Click that donate button to help us keep the lights on. And Jeff, do you have a song that would encourage people to give us money?
You know, I thought I did, and I don't.
All right.
I'm so sorry.
Sit on your wallets, y'all.
So sorry. Oh, it just...
Man, leaving me hanging like that.
I know. I'm just, I suck.
Jeff, you've got this album that you're working on. What comes next after that?
I'll play a bunch of gigs and write a bunch of more songs. And when I have enough songs to make another album, I'll make another album.
Do it again. Yeah.
Because I remember when you came out with your last one, that was well received. Like, people were talking about those songs.
Oh, wow.
And listening to them.
Good songs.
They were very much in the local zeitgeist, if you will. But I'm always interested, like, you're a goal-oriented guy, and you keep pounding until...
Well, I didn't start writing songs till 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, that was going to be one of my questions. Now we know.
Well, I remember he had shared that it was a long time coming, and so it was this bottleneck, it sounds like, that had to be released.
Well, I used to be a freelance writer. There used to be these things called magazines. I don't know if you're familiar.
Yep.
Yeah, people used to take them into the bathroom with them before they invented cell phones.
Yep.
But that all went away. But I was fortunate enough to write for a bunch of different music magazines.
Well, I have noticed that if you all follow Jeff Wall on Facebook, you are a long-form Facebook poster, and that's appreciated because it's good stuff.
Mark Twain said I would have written you a short letter, but I didn't have the time.
Right.
And so that's a problem. I'm long-winded, and I sometimes
Thank you, Juanita.
go on rants about different social issues or political issues, and I do that on Facebook, because they want to arrest you
Yet.
for inciting riots on Facebook.
As Kim says, yet.
I've had some medical issues. I've got psoriatic arthritis in my hands. I've got a couple fingers that don't want to do what they're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a stroke, but it was in my brain. I don't use that. So, I had the open heart surgery. I meet up with arthritis, knees, back, elbows, neck. What else is there? There's a bunch of little different things that, I've got just a bunch of little, the joys of getting old, and so I don't know how much time I got left. And so I need to try to do what I can while I can.
Do all the things, yeah.
And I was at a bluegrass festival up in Galax. I was up in Galax at the Fiddler Convention.
Oh, yeah.
And it was raining, and like it always does at Galax, and I've been playing for about 6 hours. My hands were killing me. But and there's this other woman, and she started saying she was starting to cramp up a little bit too, and then she says, "What are we going to do?" I said, "I'm going to keep playing till I can't." I I just keep playing till I can't. Keith
Right.
Richards plays a lot in open G now because he can't play in standard tuning as much anymore.
Yeah.
If
You
you
can
look at
adapt.
a picture of his
Yes.
fingers, but he ain't gonna stop. I ain't stopping. I ain't no Keith Richards, but
But you're a heck of a guitar player. You're a big dude playing that guitar, and I've heard of you playing mandolin before, which is a tiny little instrument for a big guy like you. But I've heard you nail that thing.
I'm a mandolin owner. I'm a
Right.
guitar player. I've been wanting the snakehead for a while. A Gibson snakehead made in the I think the years for those are like 1915 to 1923 or something like
Right.
that. And it's an oval hole. And I've been wanting one forever. And my wife told me, she said, when you can play a mandolin as well as you play a guitar, you can buy you a nice mandolin.
Well, that's
I mean,
nice
I've got
of
a couple nice mandolins as it is, but she's not going to let me. She says she's not going to let me, but if I came home with another mandolin, she'd just shrug her shoulders.
Well, we want you to play.
She's very nice to me about instruments. All she cares about is how does it play and how does it sound. She never asked me how much does it cost.
Well, that's the important part.
Yeah.
Is can you play it well? Does it fit well with your playing style? And does it sound good with your voice?
My voice changed. When I had the heart surgery, they put a tube down my throat. So I was on a respirator for a while. And
That hurts, doesn't it?
no, I didn't notice it. They got really good drugs now. I don't know if you know this or not, but
You still feel kind of raw after they've taken that
well,
tube
yeah,
out.
and it changed my voice a little
Yeah.
bit. I tell you one thing I found out during this heart surgery that I did not like. Pain meds now, they're not IV. They give you tablets instead of.
So it's not
IV.
instantaneous.
I'm like, y'all have taken all the fun out of heart surgery. You really have. It's like.
You don't get the little morphine button anymore. You just push the button.
No,
and it goes?
button, and Dilaudid is the devil, is all I can say. Oh, man. I was ready to.
Play another song. That's
bad
what you're ready
stuff.
to do.
Well, I don't know how many people know this. I am in recovery and have been for a long time in 12-step recovery, and I'm not going to get real deep into that. You can probably find, if you stalk me on Facebook, I'll mention it enough times. It's not that big a deal. My best friend, Dennis Valentine, we'd known each other for 30-something years, and something happened, and he started drinking again.
Uh-oh.
And it became his goal to drink himself to death, and he finally succeeded. He really did. He ended up ICU twice with organ failure.
Ouch.
And I've had a bunch of friends that this happened to.
It's not so terrible for him, but it's terrible for the folks who have to sit and watch it and love him while it's happening.
And I don't want to mention. I don't want to mention the other people I know because I just don't need to do it. If you know them and you know what happened, then you know. But I had to go. Dennis was living in St. Louis, St. Charles, and I went up for the funeral, and I didn't know. His mother asked me to sing a song. She wanted me to do a Dan Fogelberg or something like that, and I'm like, that's not my thing,
Yep.
I'll write a song, and I'll do that. And I didn't know when I went up there that I was doing a eulogy. I thought I was just getting up and singing a song, but I ended up doing the whole Preacher Jeff.
Right.
And I didn't use that much profanity, but it's
I could think of a lot of worse folks to be able to do that.
well. This is a song I wrote for Dennis, and I've recorded it once. It's on Spotify, but I need to put it on a record.
I've heard that Jeff Wall might be doing a record soon.
I've heard that. I am not here, and I am not there. Place that I am now, is everywhere. I'm in the mountains, I'm in the sea. Wherever you turn now, that's where you'll find me. I know your thoughts, and I know your fears. I know your sadness, and I feel your tears. I know your heart, how it loves so true, and I'll always be a piece of you. I am not here, and I am not there. The place that I am now is everywhere. I am the river, and I am the trees. Open your heart now, that's where you'll find me. There's no more sickness, there's no more pain, there's no more guilt, there's no more shame. I am not old, and I am not young. My body's gone now, but I ain't done. I am not here, and I am not there. The place that I am now is everywhere. I'm down below, and I'm up above. The thing that I am now is pure, perfect love. I am not here, and I am not there. Place that I am now is everywhere. Just like the wind, I'm blowing free. Look in your heart now, that's where you find me. Just like the wind, I'm blowing free. Look at your heart now, that's where you find me.
Jeff Wall with a beautiful eulogy.
Amen.
Let's So all the things that you hear on WHUP, you get to hear stuff like that. You get to hear personal tributes to people that you've never met, but now you know about, because we have the finest live local music in the region on the East Coast. When they travel through, they come to our radio station because they know between our show and several others, they're going to have an awesome audience who appreciates that.
Yes.
If you appreciate that, we appreciate you. Whether you're donating 1, 5, whatever you have to donate each month or in a lump sum, I'll say it again, we do not rely on federal funding that can be pulled or state funding. It's all you. So if you are part of this community and you like having us as part of yours, I hope you donate at WHUPFM.org. We're going to roll into our last moment. So Jeff, will you close out your hour with whatever song you choose, knowing that people who know and love you are listening?
And a reminder to get out to BigDumbHick.com to learn more about Jeff Wall.
When Jesus comes back, he's gonna be pissed. What the hell's going on? He taught us better than this. He said, do unto those have him, do unto you. Not screw everybody before you get screwed. He said, help out needy, take care of the sick. Love everybody, don't be a dick. No, don't be a dick. Love everybody, and don't be a dick. Turn your mic on if you're gonna sing harmony.
Already did.
Petty and greedy, ever grasping for more. All we care about's power, starting some damn more. I can't remember. Forget my own song. You're afraid of the Muslims, afraid of the Jews. You're afraid of the queers and the immigrants too. But a heart filled with love has nothing to fear. Make peace with your enemies, help buy them a beer. You won't find forgiveness while throwing a brick. You gotta love everybody, don't be a dick. No, don't be a dick. Love everybody, and don't be a dick. Everybody,
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 everybody.
everyone.
I appreciate y'all letting me come up here.
Thank you
Appreciate
for
you
coming all
kind
this
folks
way.
for listening. BigDumbHick.com, and I will play anywhere, anytime. Just shoot me an email. If I can figure out how to get there and cover my gas expenses, we should talk.
He's there, but don't go away, y'all. Jeff, we're going to ask you to wave your pretty face goodbye. We're going to turn off the camera because we are now a broadcasting station. You will be able to watch this show for the next 2 weeks on Twitch and on Facebook. You'll be able to watch it ad infinitum on YouTube. And where else?
That's it. But the wonderful thing about YouTube is they store these videos forever. So you can watch this one forever and the past 3 or 4 years archives of weekly shows. So,
Yeah, I
thanks.
was Googling myself the other day because I'm narcissistic.
You're an auto
like that.
Googler.
And Randall Cross. My first appearance here.
Your
Oh,
first
my.
appearance, which was fantastic, by the way. But as Kim said, we're going to kill off the live stream, but you guys keep listening at WHUPFM.org and FM 104.7 here in Hillsboro, because we're going to play music now, recorded music that Jeff Wall brought in. He's going to provide some intros and outros, so we'll get a little bit of a deeper understanding into what makes Jeff Wall tick musically. So
And it's not
goodbye,
a
y'all.
pacemaker. Glory be. Thank you, surgery. All right. Okay, they're gone now, Jeff. It's just us. Do you remember the first song that you put on your playlist?
Oh, yeah.
Which one is it?
Pop Staples.